I'm here in Amsterdam out west, outside Tees Tea Bar, and I just finished editing and uploading the interview with Wolf where he describes his infantile sexual abuse. And there was a specific moment in that conversation that I wanted to highlight with this video, and it's the moment where he shares the recovery of his repressed memories of infantile sexual abuse, and he describes it as his entire skin burning with every place where he was being touched, till he gets to this moment of full dissociation, and he witnesses the scene from above happening to his child self in a crib by a friend of his father's. And as horrific as that notion is that someone could try to gain sexual pleasure from the body of an infant, what I wanted to bring awareness to is this felt sense that I had as an adult survivor of his truth. I wasn't there to see this. I don't really know Wolf that well. And yet in the moment where he spoke to this, I could feel the truth of what he was sharing in my own body. And for someone who comes from a very logical, analytical background, this way of accessing truth feels so new and profound that I wanted to really highlight that, especially for those of us who have struggled with the validity of our abuse being validated by someone else in the family, and struggling to find that validation. When we hear another adult survivor's story of how the memories came up, the nightmares came up, and how it felt in their body, it is so beautiful to feel that in connection to them, and thereby validate not only their experience but our experience too. Neither Wolf has any witnesses who can verify this, nor do I have any witnesses who can verify my abuse. So there was something really special in that moment of feeling the truth of what he was describing in my system, that I hope if you are someone who's struggling with trying to gain validity or proof of what was done to you, I hope that by watching him describe this, you can feel that validity. You can feel his validity in your system, and thereby your own validity in your own system.
And then one session, I started to work with this feeling of shame and guilt. And we arrive at an image, a memory, which was in my body, where I was as a baby, and I was laying in a cradle, and there was this person that was coming closer, and my whole body responded with, "I don't want you here. You have to leave." But this person kept coming closer. I still felt the same way. He doesn't belong here at all. He starts bending over the cradle. He starts touching me. And I remember thinking, no, stop. No stopping. He kept touching. And I froze, but I got so angry because I couldn't move. I couldn't say nothing. And when I energetically say no, nobody responded. So he kept just going. And I start crying in the session, and she brings me out again because it was really like a panic attack in the session. So we go back to resourcing, and we wait, and she regulates my system again a little bit, and then we close the session. And that night I go to sleep, and I have the most intense nightmare I've ever had in my life. It was again the same scene, the same person, and I felt this when his hands landed on my body. It was like burn. Every time he touched me, my skin was burning so hard, and this this feel like so much rage, this feeling of stop touching me. You keep your hand, you don't belong here, it's not your space, leave me alone. Like so much, but I couldn't do nothing and he was not listening. And then I in the dream I dissociate completely, so I really leave my body and I fly above. And I witness the scene happening, so he's molesting my body and I'm just floating and I don't feel anything anymore. I'm just really, I can't do nothing in there, so I just exit. Basically, that's what it felt like. And after the nightmare, I wake up and I'm like so drenched in sweat.
Let's be with that for a minute.
Yeah, totally.
That's quite a potent piece that you shared.
Yeah.
I just wanted to land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can really relate to that. That kind of full dissociation in the moment of memory recovery and seeing the whole scene, seeing myself. Like I can really relate to it.
Yeah.
And that was the first memory of sodomy that I recovered when I was 5 or so. I think I was 5. It's difficult to tell really.
Yeah.
I was floating here.
Yeah.
And I saw myself like bent over and like frozen. And I could also relate to the burning rage that you talked about. Which interestingly enough for me wasn't present as much in the first memory recovery because it was my grandfather, and so I felt more of a betrayal or like how could you let me down kind of a thing. But in the second set of memories that I recovered it with his friend, and there I just felt plain rage because there was like no relationship and everything that you talked about of like, this is not your place, who the fuck are you, why are you here, get the fuck away, like all of that, like I felt very resonant with, and wanted some space to just share that.